Hey, Roshana. Okay, thanks for getting this in. Hey, look at you with your work lamps. So, I don't know how hot those things get, but, I know you have some limited equipment issues, and so if you want to do more with these lamps, you can make your own diffusers by just making some frames out of some plastic plumbing pipe and just putting some white sheets over them, like, stitch it with a needle, staple it, whatever. It'll work. It won't look real pro, but you can catch up to that later, and the more tools you have, the more that you can learn. Okay, so back to your shots. So here's your shots, and I'm going to tell you what everybody else told you too. It's you still need to pull your subject further away from your background so that your background gets out of focus, because these would be gorgeous. If you could just get rid of the fabric, these would be absolutely beautiful and really fantastic. That with her dark skin and hair and clothing against the white background, it would just be stunning. It's so close. It's just so close. We just need it to be a little bit more out of focus, and the way to do that is to put more space between your background and your subject. And it looks like you're probably shooting in the same spot, or the same kind of spot, so you're doing a lot with this little spot. Your learning curve is showing, and it's fast. That's great. And I think your lighting is working pretty well too. It's probably a little hard. And I only say that because some of the shadows that are cast seem a little bit unconsidered, and there's a lot of glare. Like right here on her hand, it's really hot. Her hand is really hot, which means blown out. And then there's this strange shadow cast by her necklace, so it seems a little bit unplanned. But part of it's just the complexity of her outfit, This is a beautiful shot. I think the lighting on it is just exquisite. And it's hard to do that with, to get such beautiful lighting on a black outfit without blowing it out. That's really nice. The composition's lovely. Her prayer pose is, authentic, and this is really nice. And this is going to sound kitschy, but you know what would make this awesome? Is if the key light was actually coming from camera right, so she was looking into the light, and... Is that too kitschy? Because I think that would make this image actually a lot more powerful if the key light was coming down on this side, and she was looking into the key light. Because here you have short lighting, and she's looking into the darkness, which is maybe not as flattering as the opposite would be. But that being said, I think you did a fantastic job giving us a couple different lighting scenarios and some different poses, and you're doing a lot with not a whole lot of equipment here. And like I said, you can expand your arsenal by making some of your own frames with diffusion material on top of them, and that would help a lot. I think that would help a lot. And so really, all you've got here for your backdrop is a white sheet duct tape to this, so you could do, get yourself, if you can do it, go out and get a king-sized sheet, probably one white, one black. And that'll help a lot too, because you'll have more space. You'll be able to push your background further away from your subject. Okay, so let's look at your exposure settings. So it looks like f8. You're shooting at a pretty small aperture at f8. All of them are at f8, f11, f5. That's still pretty small, actually. I would expect one thing that would help a lot too to get that background out of focus is to be shooting down in like f2 if you have a lens that'll do that at f2 or 1.2 would be great, 1.8 would be great, 2 would be great, 2.8 would be great, and that would probably get that cloth out of focus at the distance that you're shooting at. So if you have that, I don't know how thoughtful your use of your aperture setting is right now. So start to be really thoughtful about that. And when you need a narrow depth of field, don't forget to open it all the way up to as wide a setting as you have, which hopefully is like f2.8, but maybe it's 3 point something or another. But do that and start thinking about that and utilize that possibility. Okay, thanks, Roshana.